how to accurately leverage trade this Kaspa breakout that we all know is forming like a coiled cobra ready to strike. We're going to implement flashbacks from FOMC meetings, other videos, and other content creators in order to weave this solid fundamental understanding of the framework of how to do this particular leverage trade. So along the way, we're going to be dropping some new release picks that haven't been faded by this recent shakeout. And that's exactly what's happening. Historically, after every Bitcoin halving, there's a shakeout period designed to get retail investors off their position before the massive move to the upside. Starting with a technical analysis prediction we did from a few weeks ago, projecting into the future, these two trend lines form another broadening wedge pattern that has the ability to last all the way until the 20th of June. Notice the date that we predicted using technical analysis that this breakout could start to form, right around the middle of June. Now, we just uploaded a video going over the FOMC dates where Powell's going to come up and potentially cut rates. Now, surprisingly, the majority of the people in comments thought that I was just generating this out of thin air, when in fact, this is all across financial TV.
The risks to achieving our employment and inflation goals are coming into better balance. We believe that our policy rate is likely at its peak for this tightening cycle, and that if the economy evolves broadly as expected, it will likely be appropriate to begin dialing back policy restraint at some point this year.
Make sure you guys turn on your television sets on May 1st when Powell gives an update into the future cuts that could be happening at June 15th, which just happened to parallel with our technical analysis, and or July 30th. Now, we were watching House of Crypto's video a few weeks ago where he brought up a charting method known as the Wyckoff method. This gentleman was like the Warren Buffett of technical analysis, and he invented a form of tracking when these shakeouts were taking place. And House of Crypto did a great job paralleling that with the action that's at hand. We did a bit of our own research on this Wyckoff method, and we found a chart from Apple using his Wyckoff formation that looks identical to our Kaspa chart. And for those of you who are returning viewers, the gravitational field of these downtrends. You see, our key technical analysis on this channel is known as origin trend lines. Because crypto is so different from the stock market, the trend lines based on halving and emission cycles will repeat over and over again. We can clearly see this resistance repeating trend line on the Kaspa chart all the way back in April of 2023 on the handle of the cup, the recent November breakout, and of course right now. In order to enter a leverage trade, in order to time the breakout, which is the correct way to trade leverage when it's having dynamic upward movement. When you're holding a leverage trade, the fees for borrowing that money are tagged onto your liquidation price. So the longer you're holding it, ideally into the bull market, this liquidation price keeps going higher and higher, and you're catching a risk of one of those giant red wicks. Starting with this Apple chart, applying the Wyckoff method, we can see this downward trend line, which is the exact trend line that we're looking at on Kaspa. Notice how he marks this series of highs and lows until finally we start to get a stronger high and a higher low. This is what we've been waiting for, to bounce off the top of this x-axis resistance line for everyone who's been watching this channel for a while. Once we get that bounce off this x-axis trend line, then we'll eventually get a low on a new parallel. Taking this to Kaspa back on the previous falling wedge formation, we can see this played out exactly. We started bouncing off the top of this x-axis trend line, and then we found a whole new support. By now, you're starting to see the basic outline, the framework of how to set up this Kaspa leverage trade accurately. But I can assure you that the nuances into doing it correctly go much deeper. Let's take the November 5th God candle, for example. How would you have liked to enter a 10x leverage trade into that? Well, we're the only channel on all of YouTube that advised all their subscribers, of course, nothing we say is financial advice, to enter into a 10x leverage trade on November 3rd, before the God candle even started forming. 48 hours later, it absolutely started its rocket formation up into the double digits. The tactics and methods that went into making that call out go far beyond just the technical analysis we've included in this videos and many others. In fact, it takes an entire library of charting content, specifically in crypto, in order to encapsulate any trade. And we have such a library inside our group. Recently, we were able to call out an Alex Becker pick 24 hours before NIA hit his Twitter account. We've been catching some heaters. This project is an ultra micro cap, but has an amazing application and use case. It has a deep fake vibe where you can make an AI digital image of your face and it can speak in different languages, perform all types of tasks. One of the really bullish factors of this project is when we looked into their token unlock schedule, both the development and the marketing is happening right around this fall. This could easily, in my opinion, hit 25, 50 million, if not 100 million market cap, making this an absolute rocket ship. Right now, at 10 cents, it's still fair value. We advised everybody in the group to jump on it on opening day right at 6 cents. Now, another pick that has been resilient against all of this shakeout is Matrix Fire. This isn't something we cover in the group, just on the main channel. This is a GameFi pick. It's a first-person shooter. Once it goes mainnet, because it's still in test mode overseas in China, this could rival big time in some of the other first-person shooters. Everyone who's done significant research into upcoming GameFi listing has realized the majority of these new games, they're all first-person shooters. But we found the one that's going to hands down steal the show from Heroes of Mavia. When it went through the 24-point vetting system, every single checkpoint it aced, all the way down to popularity on social media, not amongst crypto investors, but amongst the gamer. We also covered this new AI pick called Blender, which we originally thought was going to be a home run. But once we started getting into the 24-point checklist, there were some gaping flaws. And when you read it, it will become clear to you, you don't want to put your money anywhere near Blender. Desync, on the other hand, that Alex Becker pick that did like a 50x in 45 days, because it was so strong, we also did a 24-point checklist on that pick. In case new listings come up that have similar use cases, you can understand the ins and out of Desync, aka Destra, and realize why it shot up so high. Thanks for checking out this video. If you guys are looking for cold storage to stick these funky altcoins from Kaspa all the way down to PlayZap, you can use a Tangent cold storage wallet. Discount code JesseAI will save you a couple bucks, but it also automatically registers you into the affiliate marketing program. So as you hook up your friends and family, maybe even you have a rich relative who's interested in crypto, but when you explain cold storage to them, they're kind of like, yeah, technology, that's not my bag. The Tangent wallet's super easy to use. It looks just like a debit card. You don't have to write down seed phrases because it has a new RFDI seed phrase technology. They're super awesome. Highly advised that you get one. We'll catch you on the next one.